First contact. The night sky blazed with otherworldly light as the alien craft tumbled from the heavens, trailing smoke and flames. It vanished behind the wooded hills outside the small town of Millfield with a distant boom that rattled windows and startled livestock. Liam Wilder sat bolt upright in bed, instantly awake. Beside him, his wife Sarah rubbed sleep from her eyes, blonde hair tousled. "What was that?" she asked. "A meteor impact?" "No idea, but it sounded close by." Liam was already pulling on jeans and boots, curiosity overriding caution. "I'm going to check it out." Sarah sighed but reached for her own clothes. "Then I'm coming with you. Don't want you stumbling into trouble alone." Minutes later, Liam's pickup truck bounced down a neglected logging road into the hills, high beams piercing the night. A faint plume of smoke in the distance guided them. As they neared the impact site, the trees gave way to a scene of destruction. A long furrow was gouged into the earth, lined with shattered pines and boulders. At its end lay the crumpled remains of a craft unlike anything they had ever seen. It was the size of a city bus, but sleek and streamlined, all curves and odd angles glinting in the starlight. Acrid smoke seeped from rents in its iridescent hull. Liam braked to a halt, and the couple sat staring, struggling to comprehend what lay before them. "That's not from around here," Liam said finally, voice hoarse with shock. "You're not wrong." Wide-eyed, Sarah fumbled for her phone. "We should call." A sound from the wreckage froze her mid-sentence. A high, keening wail, filled with agony and despair. The cry of something alive and suffering. Without a word, Liam and Sarah leaped from the truck and raced to the downed ship. They skirted smoldering debris until they reached a gash in the hull, peering warily into the dimness within. Slumped amid sparking wreckage lay a crumpled figure, its form both shockingly alien and achingly familiar. Humanoid but taller, with pale blue skin and an elongated hairless skull. Its slender frame was clad in what looked like a form-fitting black flight suit, now torn and bloodied. As they watched, it stared and opened eyes like polished silver coins, fixing them with a look of mingled terror and supplication. It raised a trembling hand, reaching toward them. "Please," it rasped in perfect English. "Help me." Liam and Sarah shared a stunned glance. A lifetime of beliefs depended in an instant. Then, without hesitation, they clambered through the breach to kneel beside the alien pilot. "Don't try to move," Sarah said, voice gentle. "You're badly hurt. We're here to help." The alien's features, so strange yet so expressive, sagged with relief and gratitude. "Thank you," it whispered. "I am Xyloth. I come in peace, seeking refuge." Liam shrugged out of his jacket and draped it carefully over the shivering figure. "I'm Liam. This is Sarah. You're safe now, Xyloth. We've got you." As they worked to stem the bleeding and fashion a makeshift stretcher from ship debris, neither human could shake a growing sense of awe and responsibility. They didn't understand how or why, but they knew their lives, and perhaps the destiny of their world, had just changed forever. Alien among us. In the days following the crash, Liam and Sarah worked tirelessly to nurse Xyloth back to health, hiding him in the cellar of their old farmhouse. Despite the strangeness of the situation, they quickly formed a bond with the earnest, soft-spoken alien. As his strength returned, Xyloth began sharing stories of his homeworld, a dying planet orbiting a fading star, its civilization desperately seeking a new beginning among the stars. He had been a scout, sent to survey Earth for possible resettlement. "But why come here to us?" Liam asked one evening as the three of them shared a simple meal. "Surely there are worlds better suited to your species' needs." Xyloth shook his head, setting down his spoon. "It wasn't just about physical compatibility," he explained. "We were seeking a species that demonstrated resilience, ingenuity, and unity. A people we could learn from and ally with. And in your global data streams, we found countless examples of humans overcoming great adversity through cooperation and determination." Sarah leaned forward, blue eyes bright with curiosity. "Like what? What stood out to you?" Zoloft's silver eyes glowed with admiration. Your medical advances, for one, eradicating diseases, extending lifespans. We lost so many to the plagues of our dying world. And your space programs, reaching out to explore the cosmos, even as you struggled with conflicts at home. Such vision and dedication. He gestured to the farmhouse around them. But most of all, it was the everyday stories that moved us. Tales of individuals coming together to help one another in times of need, even at great personal risk. Like the two of you, taking in a stranded alien without hesitation. That, more than any grand achievement, convinced us that humans were worth knowing. Liam felt a sudden lump in his throat. He had never thought of his species in such glowing terms. So often, the news was full of war, prejudice, and shortages. It was hard to see nobility in the daily slog of survival. But through Zoloft's eyes, he began to understand the potential in every act of kindness, every leap of faith. Sarah reached out to lay a hand on Zoloft's arm, her touch gentle. Your people are facing hard times, but they haven't given up. There's great courage in that too. I think we could learn as much from you as you from us. Zoloft ducked his head, suddenly bashful. That means a great deal to me. For so long, our struggle felt hopeless. But being here, seeing your world and your ways firsthand, it gives me renewed purpose. Perhaps together, we can find a path forward for both our kinds. In the warm lamplight of that cozy cellar, a sense of possibility kindled. Two species as different as starlight and soil, yet united by a common drive to endure, to help, to grow. It felt like the start of something profound and precious. But even as they traded stories and dreams, Liam couldn't shake a prickle of unease. Zoloft's mission of peace and cooperation was a beautiful one, but would every human see it that way? If word of the alien's presence leaked out, how would the world react? He kept his fears to himself, not wanting to spoil the moment. But as the night wore on and talk turned to lighter things, Liam resolved to do whatever it took to protect this fragile new friendship. The road ahead would not be an easy one, but some things, hope, compassion, unity, were worth fighting for. Unlikely alliance. As Zoloft's wounds healed, he and the Wilders began working to repair his damaged ship. It was slow going, hampered by the need for secrecy and the alien nature of the technology. But Liam's skills as a mechanic and Sarah's keen mind proved invaluable, and Zoloft was a patient teacher. Late one night, as they took a break from soldering intricate circuit boards, Zoloft turned to his human companions with a somber expression. "I need to contact my people," he said. "They'll be worried about my absence, and they deserve to know the great potential for friendship I've found here. But—" Sarah cocked her head, sensing his hesitation. "But what? What's wrong?" Zoloft's shoulders slumped. "My communications array was damaged in the crash. I can send a signal, but it will be undirected, broadcasting on all frequencies. There's a risk it could be detected by others." Liam frowned. "Others? You mean other alien species?" Zoloft nodded grimly. "Not all of those who roam the stars are peaceful. There are factions that see Earth as a prize to be conquered, not a partner to be embraced. If they intercept my transmission, if they learn of my presence here—" A chill raced down Liam's spine. The thought of their quiet world caught in the crosshairs of an alien conflict was terrifying. But the determination in Zoloft's eyes steeled his resolve. "Then we make sure that doesn't happen," he said firmly. "We knew there were risks when we took you in, Zoloft. This doesn't change anything. We're with you." Sarah nodded vigorously. "Humanity should have a choice in its future. A chance to stand alongside folks like you, not be subjugated. Let's get that array fixed and send your message. Whatever comes, we'll face it together." Zoloft's eyes shimmered with emotion. "Your courage and loyalty humble me," he said softly. "Very well, let us begin." Through the long hours of the night, they labored over the delicate equipment, until at last a strong, steady signal pulsed out into the void, carrying a message of hope and unity to distant stars. Days passed, filled with anxious waiting and furtive equipment checks. Liam and Sarah went about their normal routines, all the while straining for any hint of a response from above. It came on a clear, cold night as the three friends huddled around a jury-rigged receiver in the farmhouse attic. A brief burst of static, then a strong, sibilant voice filled the room. "Scout Xyloth, this is Commander Rilix of the Galactic Consortium Rapid Response Force. We have intercepted your transmission and are en route to your location. Maintain position and ready all technology for acquisition. The indigenous cooperation is irrelevant. We will brook no resistance. Glory to the Consortium." The transmission cut off, leaving a ringing silence. Liam felt as if all the air had been sucked from the room. Beside him, Sarah gripped his hand fiercely, her face pale but determined. Xyloth slumped back in his chair, eyes closed in despair. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I've doomed us all." Liam reached out to clasp the alien's shoulder, his touch firm and grounding. "Nothing is doomed yet," he said, quiet conviction in his voice. "They're expecting an easy conquest. They think they can just march in and take what they want." He shared a long, meaningful look with Sarah, seeing his own resolve mirrored in her gaze. As one, they turned to Xyloth. "But they've never met humans before," Sarah said, a fierce grin tugging at her lips. "They have no idea what they're in for, so here's what we're going to do." Through that long, tense night, the unlikely trio planned and prepared, forging strategies and gathering resources. The people of Millfield might live a simple life, but they were resourceful, independent, and stubborn as hell. No alien invader would find them easy prey. As dawn crept over the hills, Liam stood on the porch, watching the sky with wary anticipation. The battle for Earth, for the very soul of two species, was about to begin, and he knew with grim certainty that the Consortium had vastly underestimated the strength of the human spirit. They would not make that mistake again. Invasion. The Consortium ships descended on Millfield like a swarm of angry hornets, their hulls glinting with malevolent purpose. Liam watched them come, his jaw set, and his heart pounding. Beside him, Sarah and Xyloth stood in silent solidarity, ready for whatever came next. As the lead ship settled into an aggressive hover over the town square, a booming voice echoed from hidden speakers, cold and commanding. "Attention, Indigenes. You are harboring a fugitive of the Galactic Consortium. Surrender him and all associated technology immediately, or face the consequences of defiance." Liam stepped forward, his voice ringing out strong and clear. "The only fugitive here is the one fleeing your tyranny," he shouted. "We stand with Xyloth and all who seek peace and cooperation. If you want him, you'll have to go through us." A chilling laugh rippled from the ship. "So be it, foolish primate. You have sealed your own doom." With a bone-jarring hum, the ship's weapons emerged from seamless ports, swiveling to target the assembled humans. Liam braced himself for the searing blast of energy. But it never came. Instead, a flurry of projectiles erupted from the roof of the town hall, streaking toward the alien craft with surprising speed and accuracy. They were fireworks, the kind used in the town's 4th of July celebrations, but modified by Xyloth to pack a heftier punch. The rockets impacted the ship's shields in a dazzling burst of sparks and smoke, causing the energy field to flicker and waver. The ship lurched, its weapons losing target lock. "Now!" Liam yelled, and all around the square, hidden townspeople opened fire with an eclectic mix of hunting rifles, paintball guns, and improvised launchers. The hail of lead, paint, and scrap metal pinged off the ship's hull, adding to the confusion. At the same time, Sarah hunched over a commandeered radio set, her fingers flying over the dials. Using knowledge gleaned from late-night repair sessions with Xyloth, she transmitted a focused electromagnetic pulse at a frequency precisely calibrated to disrupt Consortium systems. The results were immediate and dramatic. The ship's shields collapsed with a fizzling pop, and its engines sputtered and died. It dropped to the ground with a mighty crash, kicking up clouds of dust. A ragged cheer went up from the humans, but it was cut short as hatches slammed open on the downed ship and a dozen armored alien soldiers leaped out, weapons bristling. They quickly formed up and advanced on the humans, movements fluid and menacing. "Stand aside, primates," the leader barked. "Resistance is futile. You only delay the inevitable." Liam shared a quick glance with Sarah and Zoloth, a silent affirmation of their plan. Then he grinned fiercely and brandished his makeshift club, a length of steel pipe. "That's what you think, Buckeye. Millfield, let's show 'em what we're made of." With a roar of defiance, the townspeople charged the advancing aliens. Though outmatched in technology, they more than made up for it in sheer scrappy determination. They'd spent triumph of the human spirit. As the battle raged in the streets of Millfield, Liam found himself face to face with the consortium commander, a towering alien with cruel, glinting eyes. They traded vicious blows, human strength and tenacity pitted against superior alien conditioning. Around them, the tide of battle ebbed and flowed. The people of Millfield fought with astonishing courage and cleverness, using their intimate knowledge of the town's layout to outmaneuver and outwit the invaders. Farmers on tractors played chicken with alien hover tanks, luring them down narrow alleys where they could be disabled by salvos of paint and scrap. Loggers wielded chainsaws to slice through high-tech armor, while hunters used well-honed stalking skills to pick off scouts and snipers. Sarah worked tirelessly to keep the alien systems disrupted, her radio set becoming a rally point for the town's other amateur techs. Together, they jury-rigged a network of sensors and jammers that blanketed the battlefield, denying the consortium troops their accustomed information advantage. And through it all, Zoloth darted from skirmish to skirmish, using his knowledge of consortium tactics and technology to advise and assist the human defenders. His quick thinking and agility saved countless lives, and his unwavering faith in his human friends inspired them to ever greater acts of valor. As the sun began to set on the shattered town, the consortium forces found themselves battered, bleeding, and backed into a corner. Liam, bruised but unbowed, stood before the commander, pipe raised in challenge. "Had enough yet?" he panted. "Or do you need another lesson in human hospitality?" The alien snarled, but there was fear behind the bravado now. He had seen his superior troops outfought and outsmarted by primitives wielding sticks and stones. He had seen the unbreakable spirit that animated these strange, soft creatures, and he wanted no more of it. "Withdraw," he bellowed to his beleaguered troops. "Back to the ship. We're leaving this accursed mud bowl." As the aliens retreated, a ragged cheer went up from the humans. They had done the impossible, defeated an extraterrestrial invasion with little more than grit, guile, and the unshakable bonds of community. Liam turned to Sarah and Zoloth, a tired but luminous grin on his face. "We did it," he said wonderingly. "We actually did it." Sarah's answering smile was radiant. Was there ever any doubt? When humans and Xylons work together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Zoloth clasped both their hands in his, silver eyes shining with emotion. "My friends, my saviors, you have shown me the true strength of your species. Not conquest, not domination, but unity, ingenuity, and indomitable will. I am honored to stand with you." In the days that followed, as Millfield rebuilt and the wider world reeled at the revelation of extraterrestrial life, that spirit of cooperation only grew. Zoloth's people arrived peacefully and were welcomed cautiously but warmly. Emboldened by the example of the Wilders and their town, more and more humans reached out to embrace this new cosmic community. There would be challenges and misunderstandings, to be sure, 1,000 alien cultures to reconcile with 8 billion human perspectives. But the Battle of Millfield had proven that when sapient beings approach each other with open hearts and minds, there was no limit to what they could achieve together. Standing hand in hand with Sarah and Zoloth beneath a sky full of glittering ships, Liam felt a deep sense of purpose and possibility. The old walls between worlds were crumbling, and in their place, something new and wonderful was rising. Earth would never be the same, and that was a very good thing indeed.